Hello, everybody! It's me, Carmine DeStefano, the Bookman. In 1940, All American Comics created an intergalactic protector called the Green Lantern. As the years progressed, so did his adventures with fellow lanterns in their varying species glory. Then in 2011, DC Comics collaborated with Warner Brothers to put their classic comic into full-length motion in a film called Green Lantern. Does its green palette produce thrills? Well, let's take a look at it together, shall we? Movie opens in space, where several beings come across a monumental discovery, the apocalypse. Immediately, Green Lantern Great Abin Sur is contacted by old friend Sinestro, Mark Strong.
Every life form destroyed and their essence absorbed. Traces of yellow power everywhere.
No, yellow and green simply don't match. All Abin then gets to see for himself as he's attacked by the creature. Wounded, he heads to the next lantern who will take his place. Who? No. Expecting something different from Ryan? He's still just Van Wilder.
God, I always thought it was because I flew around with your daughter freshman year.
Yeah, it's just Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, along with Yummy! Ooh, in the entry! Yes, I woo! They are test pilots hired to push new drones to their limit. Hal Jordan does so. In accomplishing this feat, he gets flashbacks of his father's death. This causes him to crash. Groundside, Hal is reprimanded.
Since I'm going to have to lay off most of my company anyway, you're fired.
It's too late,
You don't
Carl,
get
I
off that
quit.
easy. He's not fired, and you don't quit. You're
so
grounded, pending the results of an investigation.
Ooh, serious shit right there. Things are not going well until Hal is brought to Abin's crash site. The dying hero places his ring into Hal's care. Meanwhile, Hector Hammond is a scientist, not a petty thug, called to dissect Abin Sur. While he does, Hal Jordan powers his ring.
Brightest day. Blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight.
I wish I may, I wish I might.
Rabbits aren't very bright.
Hector gets infected by remnants of Paradox. We then see Hal hanging with who? She can settle unrest pretty fast. Apparently, they were once an item until Hal took off. He once again leaves her stranded. Outside, he's ambushed by disgruntled former fellow employees. There, he notices the power of the ring. He's summoned out into space to the Lantern Corps sanctuary, where he meets
Have you concluded admiring yourself?
Jeffrey Rush. That reminds me.
Erection!
He has the honor of cluing Hal in on what he's now a part of. Showing Hal around, they cross the source of the Lantern's power, the collective will of countless beings. Hal sees vast numbers of lanterns, including dear Sinestro. The lanterns need to fight Paradox. First, Hal needs training. Who will give it to him?
Never let your guard down, Pooser. Welcome to Ring Slinging 101.
Everything sounds cool with Michael Clark Duncan. Hal is given a crash course from him. Then an uninspired Sinestro. After getting his ass beaten, Sinestro finds his attempts dreadful and his honor undesirable. Sinestro may have told Hal,
I'm concerned you underestimate the gravity of coming events.
He's right, I'm only human. We're not ready to defend the universe. Up until a few days ago, we thought we were the only ones in the universe.
What? Hal Jordan's giving up? Yes, Hal Jordan gives up again! Dr. Hector Hammond is noticing the taint of Parallax gives him powers like reading minds and throwing people. Unfortunately, he's being physically occupied. He then learns his government higher-up dad is pushing his career along. This angers him for some reason. Sinestro meets with the Guardians to learn what Parallax is. Parallax was a Guardian who got too close to Yellow Fear until he became it himself. That's great. Now it's time our hero presents himself. Alright, let's go through the superhero motion picture motions. Villain, cause a panic. Tragedy, make it like you're about to strike. And cue the heroic interference. Hal follows saving the helpless damsel with showing off to his friend. He then meets Carol for a secret rendezvous. Apparently, they grew up together. He reveals to her his appointed mission as well as how he backed out on it. She finds that to be horrifically cheesy. As that happens, we see... Ew!
I've never felt better in my life.
Yeah, well, you look like shit. Dr. Hector uses his power to fuck shit up. Hal drops in to save the day. Alas, Tim Robbins dies as Hal meets Parallax. Now it's time to fight back.
That isn't me.
So you're just gonna walk away again?
Dude, you're serious? Carol convinces Hal to do his duty. Hal meets with Sinestro and the Guardians, begging for help to save Earth. They refuse, so he asks to give him a chance to save it. Now it's time for the penultimate showdown. Dr. Hector wants to turn Carol into him. Hal, as well as the rest of the world, will have none of it. Quick trickery and Dr. Hector is down. Enter Parallax, who eats Hammond's soul or devours his fear or something. Hal takes this sucker on one-on-one.
Beware my power. Green Lantern's life!
That's more like it. How'd that happen again? Out in space, he again lures the endless evil into a trap. Parallax falls for the oldest grift in the book. Thus, it is easily dispensed. So Hal saves the day. Sinestro, along with the Corps, gives him praise. Carol gives him her love, and all is... Okay, and that's pretty much it. So what did I think of this movie? I really didn't have a problem with it. Yeah, it has its flaws. Too many inconsistencies with the comic it's based on, too many character shifts, too many details just thrown in your face, too many easily settled issues. The one most glaring, Hal goes from frantic pansy to universal god a little too quick. Granted, Blake Lively could easily talk me into stopping a speeding train with my face, but there seems to be no basis for Hal to become this heroic this quickly. Besides, Hal Jordan was not a sarcastic, unethical, moody, wavering little prick. The Hal I know was like a fucking machine. Nothing stopped him from achieving the task at hand. This reverts to most fans' biggest problem, Ryan Reynolds. I don't dislike Ryan, but he should not have been Hal Jordan. The imminent end of the world should have been enough of a dilemma to face up against. Internal battles were not necessary. That's another issue. Weak-ass villains. Hector and Parallax were so easily beaten. What was all the fuss? So many lanterns can't keep this thing from escaping, but one non-committable hotshot pilot can, and Sinestro turned rather unceremoniously. He shows no signs of resentment or jealousy, no motive to go for the Yellow Fear power since the enemy was beaten, yet there he goes, trying the ring on anyway. Still, this is a DC comic about color clashes. Aside from Batman and Superman, what does DC have? I still found it entertaining. Is it great or even good? Nah, it is decent enough to watch and enjoy on some level at least. Overall, this could have been another It's Not That Bad episode, but it wasn't that good either. Thank you all for watching. I have more for you soon to come, so stay tuned, take care, and have a great day.